We're going to read a poem today, and first I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to listen and think about what is happening in this poem. The title of this poem is called The Snowman. Roll it, pat it, look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be. So let's think about what is happening in this poem. What is this poem about? Derek.
Snowman.
Okay, so we know that there's a snowman in this poem, right?
Yes.
What else is happening in this poem, Thomas?
A boy is making a snowman.
So Thomas says that he thinks there's a boy that is making a snowman. Do you agree with Thomas?
Yes.
How do you know, Thomas, that somebody is making a snowman? What gives you that idea?
Because it has roll it, pat it.
So it says, roll it, pat it. What does roll it mean? What would that look like? What are you picturing in your head, Louise? What does roll it mean?
Roll it means that you're making like a circle.
What are you rolling when you're rolling? What are you rolling?
Snowball.
So Luis is doing this. He says, you're making a circle. You're rolling, you're making a snowball. That's what it's called when you put the snow together. You roll it. Then it says, pat it. Ezekiel, what does pat it mean? What would that look like?
You patting it like this.
Why would you pat the snow together? This is what Ezekiel is doing. He's patting it. Why would you pat the snow together?
So it'll stay in the ball.
Yeah, if you've ever made a snowman, you have to roll it and then you have to pat it so it'll stick together and stay in the ball. So do you all agree with Thomas that someone is making a snowman in this poem? I'm wondering who's talking in this poem? Who's saying this poem? Annie, who do you think is saying this poem or talking?
The little boy.
You think it's a little boy? How do we know that it might be a little boy instead of the snowman talking? How do we know the snowman's not talking?
She liked to build a snowman and decorate it.
So Annie says somebody probably likes to build a snowman and decorate it, but what clues? How do we know that it's somebody else that's building it? I want you to listen. Roll it, pat it. Look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be.
Because it had make a snowman.
Right, so if the snowman was talking, would the snowman say, make a snowman?
No.
So somebody else has to be making the snowman. So you're right, it's
You have
probably
to try.
a little boy or a little girl.
You have to try.
We're going to read our poem again. And as readers, we're always thinking about what makes sense anytime we're reading. So I've covered up some words. And when we read this poem again, when we get to those words, I want you to think about what would make sense there when we get to those words. And then we're going to check our thinking and see if what makes sense and sounds right also looks right. All right, read it with me. Roll it, pat it, look at me. I can make a snowman. So you said snowman right there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Could that be snowman? Why are you thinking that could be snowman?
Because
Yuretsi, why are you thinking that word might be snowman?
Because start with the S.
So Yuretsi says that the word snowman starts with an S. Is that what you hear first when you say snowman? You say the word snowman.
Yes.
Snowman. Is that what you hear first? An S? Like Yuretsi said? How can we check it?
That's an S.
So let's see. What should we see if we hear S first? We should see an S. Were you right?
Yes.
Okay. Say the word snowman again. Snowman. What do you hear next? Derek, what do you hear? Oh, all my friends say N. What sound does N make? So what should I expect to see next? Were you right? There's an N. Annie's saying it slowly again. Snowman. What do you hear next? So what should I see? An O. Is there an O there? Okay.
O and W.
What do you hear next? Snowman. Okay. So what should we see? An M. Let's check it. Is there an M there?
Yes.
Now say the word snowman slowly. Snowman. Hold on. Listen, I want you to say it slowly and listen for what you hear at the end. What you hear last. Snowman. Do you hear the N? Okay, let's check it. So, could this word be snowman?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's read this part again and see if it makes sense and sounds right. And you checked it to see if it looks right. So, let's put it all together and read it again, okay? I can make a snowman. And we checked that, and that word can be snowman.
Yes.
All right. So the title of our poem was called The Snowman. Let's read it. Roll it, pat it, look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be. So does that make sense?
Yes.
It does, and it sounds right. That's how we would say it in English when we're talking. And then we checked some of those words to see if they looked like what we were thinking they would look like. And they did, didn't they? Also, when we're reading, anytime we read as readers and writers, we see these words that we see a lot when we're reading and writing. Those high frequency words, right?
Yep.
Some of the words that are on our word wall, we see those words all the time. So I want you to look for a minute. I want you to just to look with your eyes. Do you see any of those words in our poem?
Yes.
I do too.
Me too.
I see them too.
Yes.
So we're going to find some of those words, okay? I want you to help me.
Like in the wall?
The first, just like the words on the word wall, Annie, you're right. The first word I want you to find is the word it. Eileen, I want you to come find the word it.
What is that?
In our poem.
Right here.
Yeah, she's going to show us just like this. Can you hold it like that? And Annie was already telling us, how do we spell the word it? Annie, I would like you to come point to it on the word wall. There's the word it. So it looks the same here as it does, Annie, will you point to it again on the word wall? As it does on the word wall. Yes. Anytime you see that word in a book, the word it, it's going to look like that. I-T with the letters in that order. Willow, can you come find it again in our poem? Thank you, Annie. Can you find it again? All right, did she find it? Let's check the order of the letters. I-T. Is that the correct order? Yes. Is that how it looks on the word wall?
Yes.
Every time it's going to look like that. Gavin, can you come find it again?
There's 4 its. There's 4 its.
All right, so let's check it. Is it in the right order?
Yeah.
I-T. Look on the word wall.
I-T.
So it looks the same here, Gavin, as it does on the word wall, okay? I also see some other words that are on our word wall and that we see all the time when we're reading and writing. I'm thinking about the word look. Derek, can you come find the word look for us in the poem?
There's 4 its.
Use this one. Use that one. Derek, can you tell us the order of the letters you see in the word look?
L-O-O-K.
L-O-O-K, in that order. Abby, can you go find look on the word wall?
It's next to the L.
All right, so point under the word, Abby. Let's look at the letters and see what order they're in. L-O-O-K. So every time you see the word look, the letters are always going to be in that order. Thank you, Derek. All right, I heard somebody say another word that they saw.
Me.
Me. You're Retsy. Come show us the word me.
And can.
Come show us the word me. What does that word look like? What letters are in that word? M-E. Victor, can you go show us me on the word wall? Right, let's check the letters. M-E. Me. Ooh, I hear my friends saying the word can. Anderson, come show me the word can.
Right here.
He found it. Anderson, can you tell your friends the letters in the word can? Start from the beginning.
K-A.
Okay, so this makes the same sound as K, but it's called a C. It's called a C. They make the same sound, so that's a C, A, and that letter's in your name. That's an N, like an Anderson. N, like an Anderson. Look, Anderson. Can you find your name on here?
Right there.
Can you point to the N in your name? Yeah, so the N here is the same as the N right here. That's an N, just like an Anderson. Okay? Thank you. There's one more word that we just recently added.
I.
There is the word I right here. I. And we can all read and write that word. There's another word that we recently added last week to our word wall. As. Ezekiel, come show us the word as. How do we spell as? Eileen, will you go point to it on the word wall? Okay, so Ezekiel is noticing something. He said this is the word as, A-S, and this is the word as. He said it's as here and it's as here. But Ezekiel, this one looks different than this one. How do you know it's the same word?
Lowercase a, capital A.
Okay, so Ezekiel knows that if the letters are in that order, A-S, whether it's a capital A or a lowercase a, it's always going to be the word as. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So whether it starts with a capital letter or a lowercase letter, if it's A-S, that's going to be the word as. Very good. So anytime you're reading and writing, you can read those words quickly that you see all the time, and you can write those words quickly because those are words you know. Okay? Now, we're going to read the poem one more time, and I want you to listen and see what you hear, what you notice when you're listening, okay? And you can read it with me, but we're listening for what we hear, and see if you notice anything about what you're hearing. Ready? Roll it, pat it, pat it. Look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be. What do you hear? Roll it, look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be.
I know.
What are you hearing, Annie? What do you hear when we say that poem? Are you hearing any words that sound the same at the end?
Yeah.
Listen again.
I see two N's.
Roll it, pat it, pat it. Look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be. Are there any words that sound the same at the end, Derek?
Me and B.
Okay, so Derek said the words. Can you say them again louder?
Me and B.
He said me and B. You say those words.
Me,
B. Do they sound the same at the end?
Yeah.
What do we call those words when they sound the same at the end?
I know.
What kind of words?
Rhyming.
Rhyming words. Those words rhyme that sound the same at the end. Say it again. Me, B. So Derek, come up here.
I can see two E.
And we're going to highlight those words. Can you find the word me?
B.
Yep, I'll give you another piece. So that's the word be, and which word rhymes with be? So me, be. Those words are rhyming words because they sound the same at the end. And Annie, that's why you're saying that you saw an E at the end of both of them, because that's what we hear too, okay? They sound the same at the end. So let's read it one last time. Ready? So we're reading those words that we see all the time. We're going to say those quickly. We're going to think about what's happening in the story, and we can also listen for those rhyming words when we're reading our poems. Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Roll it, roll it. Pat it, pat it. Look at me. I can make a snowman as happy as can be.